And we have a threat of severe weather in the state right now.
So let's get right to Mike for the update. Mike Morgan.
It is pretty much a springtime setup. Powerful storm system now tracking right across Oklahoma. Jet stream over our heads right now. Our storm trackers are out. Let's go ahead and show you what we have going on right now. So we have a dry line here, the southeast side of the metro here. That's the yellow line. And here comes a powerful cold front with a lot of wind and chillier temperatures building in. That's the blue line. And both of those are kind of converging on the metro area. Near and east of the dry line, there is a risk of severe weather from right now into the 10 and 11 p.m. hour. Over and east of that dry line, that yellow line, thunderstorms are trying to go up with this jet stream kind of shearing and pushing over the storm tops, but the updrafts are trying to go ahead and make it up into the atmosphere. So storms are trying to form, and if so, they'll be rotating supercells. They're just kind of at that level right now, tracking northeasterly at 40 miles per hour. So you folks in Pontotoc County over toward Bing and Ada, up into Hughes County and Seminole County, you folks stay alert. If these storms continue to form, they could produce some severe weather down in southern Oklahoma. Here comes the cold front now passing Piedmont and Yukon and Four Corners in Guthrie, and that's that chilly northwesterly breeze that's going to kick in. And when the cold front arrives with the dry line this evening, thunderstorms will probably form just on the eastern sides of Oklahoma City. Up to 80-mile-an-hour winds, golf ball size hail. The tornado threat is low, but it's not zero. I stopped the map here at 8 p.m. This is future weather. The cold front does light up. You see it right there on the eastern sides of Oklahoma County. And then by 10 o'clock, they gradually push over to the east. So we'll track this risk, Kevin and Linda, of severe weather. Temperature down to 53 by the 10 o'clock news. By that time, the storm threat will be east of the metro. I'll have a changing forewarned forecast. A lot of weather coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Mike. We're on the scene of breaking news. Human remains found in a field.
The investigation underway right now near Southeast 15th and Arrow Road. News Channel 4's Kristen Shanahan is live with the breaking details for us. Kristen, what have you found out?
Well, Kevin, deputies have wrapped up their search for the night because, as you can see, it's pretty dark out. So let's take you to some video from Bob Moore Chopper 4 earlier today. Around 11 this morning, a hunter called in saying he found a human skull in the area. Well, during their search, the sheriff says they found other human body parts along with clothes. We're told it appears the remains belong to an adult, and they may have been out here for 1 to 2 years.
Of course, it's too early to know anything about a potential cause of death. Also, it's too early at this point in time to make any speculation as to male, female, or anything else about the individual. We are checking missing person reports that have been filed in this area, and they'll give us at least a starting point to begin making some DNA comparisons.
The remains have been taken to the medical examiner's office. Deputies will be back out here tomorrow to search. Reporting live in southeast Oklahoma County, Kristen Shanahan, Oklahoma's News Channel 4.
Kristen, thank you. We'll look for your updates on that. And tonight in Edmond, a man is in jail after he was shot by police.
Officers say they shot Atreus McGee when he didn't follow commands, and he ran away from them last night. New at 6, we're hearing from people who saw the shooting. News Channel 4's Lauren Fultonberg is live with details. Lauren.
Well, Linda, this was a tense shooting for those people we heard from, but also a tense situation for the police officers, especially when they found out who this guy was. Armed, dangerous, wanted on a $1.5 million bond. And for the neighbors in that neighborhood, well, they're still a little shaken today.
I'm glad it was over, too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's over, sure. But the people in this Edmond community won't soon forget the commotion in their now quiet neighborhood.
Somebody was running around with a gun, you know, and there were cops all over the place.
Edwin Hernandez called the cops and watched with his cell phone as officers moved in on a mobile home.
Somebody was calling from inside that mobile home saying there was someone trying to get in, wanting to stay there.
Turns out that man was Atreus McGee, a convicted felon who's done time for drugs and burglary. Now he's wanted for a violent night of crime in McCurtain County, where police say he and 3 others robbed a family at gunpoint, kidnapping a man and raping a woman.
It was a home invasion that happened back this summer, and they've been looking for him ever since.
Monday, he was in Edmond looking for a ride or a place to stay until the police caught up.
He took off running, had jumped over the porch deck area trying to get away, and that's when he was shot.
McGee was in custody. A neighborhood's night of fear was over.
But I'm just thinking about just me and my kids, and that's about it. Everybody's asleep, and then you don't want no bullets flying everywhere,
Now Edwin Hernandez can sleep at least a little easier, knowing there's one fewer threat walking his streets. The next step for Edmond police is to finish up their interview with McGee. Once that's done, they'll transport him to the Oklahoma County Jail, where he will likely face additional criminal charges. Live in Edmond, Lauren Fultonberg, Oklahoma's News Channel 4.
Lauren, we'll have more on that tonight at 10. Meanwhile, dual earthquakes rocked the Cushing area earlier this morning. 3.3 and a 4.0 magnitude quake. They came just 2 weeks after a 5.0 quake caused extensive damage in that town. As News Channel 4's Sarah Stewart tells us, this morning's quakes rattled already frayed nerves.
Other than a few more stones falling off this building here in downtown Cushing, there was no physical damage reported from this morning's earthquakes. Residents are talking more about the mental and emotional anguish all of this shaking is causing.
I heard a bam, and I fell out of bed, run to the front door, because I was scared after the last one I was going to run outside.
Debbie Rossiter says this morning's quakes were particularly disturbing because the last big one is still fresh in her mind.
I live in a house on South Noble that got damaged before, so yeah, it scared me to death.
It scares us. We all jump out, and first thing we want to do is run outside because I don't think our house can take another hit like the last one. So more of our ceiling fell in this morning from downstairs.
Heather Boylan says she has no earthquake insurance and can't afford to fix the damage to her home from the 5.0.
Nope. It'll probably just go back to the bank.
And you're just on edge all the time. So it runs a lot deeper than just the cosmetics of it.
City and county leaders met this morning to discuss long-term recovery. The executive director of the Chamber of Commerce stressed the need for mental health services as well, saying residents are suffering from something similar to PTSD.
You know you got damage from the first one. Is this going to affect the second? Are my walls going to come down? Are my chimneys going to fall this time?
Unfortunately for this community, the damage estimates did not meet the threshold to qualify for either federal or state assistance.
It's frustrating when you see the big need that we have and there is no assistance.
Several structures have been deemed a total loss, including the American Legion, but the commander says they'll build back with a stronger building.
One that'll withstand a 5-pointer anyhow.
And while the buildings can be repaired, the tension of not knowing when the next one will hit is not going away. Sarah Stewart, Oklahoma's News Channel 4.
Now, the Payne County Emergency Manager says they'll be looking to volunteer organizations to step in to help fill the gap in assistance.
In a couple of days, many of us, including you probably, will sit down to a big Thanksgiving dinner surrounded by our family and friends. And that's exactly what two boys you're about to meet are looking for. They want a permanent place to call home after being in foster care for the past 8 years. News Channel 4's Lacey Lett and NBC Oklahoma tell us their story.
Damien and Dominic go to church every single week, and something else I found out that they love to do is eat hamburgers, so I took them to Tucker's Onion Burgers. So you've never been to Tucker's?
No, ma'am.
This local joint is known for an Oklahoma staple, onion burgers.
Single onion burger with cheese.
Dominic and Damien are soft-spoken, but very polite.
Any order of fries for you?
Yes, sir.
Same thing what my brother got.
Damien is 15 and is the oldest. Dominic definitely looks up to his big brother. He's 13, and like a lot of kids his age, he loves sharpening his Xbox skills.
What are you interested in?
Playing games.
Lego video games are his favorite. Older brother Damien likes to play as well, but also enjoys the great outdoors.
Xbox One, or go outside.
What do you do outside?
Find a tree and climb it.
When he's not climbing trees, Damien spends his time reading graphic novels. There's a trick to reading these stories that look like comic books.
Well, it's like Japanese format manga. It's like you read left to right, like it's different, backwards.
It's not every day you meet a teen who can read right to left, but both of these boys can.
It's really easy. Like when I got a comic book and an actual comic book, like American comic, I forgot how to read it because I'm used to Japanese format.
Like the books they read, the boys like adventure. They're hoping a family will take them to places they've never seen before.
Go to an island, like somewhere we've never been before, like out of country or something, or jump out of a plane. Skydiving.
I want to go to another island or skydiving.
We showed them video of iFly indoor skydiving in Oklahoma City. They were in awe.
That's cool.
And despite not having a place to call home, the boys are centered by their faith.
I don't know. I think it's just fun. Get closer to God.
He blessed his food on this day. Damien always wears a necklace his foster mom gave him.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
No doubt Dominic and Damien are more fortunate than many children under DHS custody. They've lived with the same foster family 8 out of the 10 years they've been in state care. But they've always known it wasn't permanent.
I want to have a family so we can grow up, and we gotta know what place to go. And that's how I want a family.
Because we want a family to go to. When we grow up, we didn't have nowhere to go to, so we want to spend time with family.
Lacey Lett, Oklahoma's News Channel 4.
Couple of polite, nice young men there. If you'd like to welcome Dominic and Damien into your home through adoption, just give DHS a call at the number there on your screen. We also have more information for you at KFOR.com.
Well, she traded in her high heels for cowboy boots. Pawhuska's Ree Drummond. Most know her as the Pioneer Woman. Blogger, cookbook author, television show host. She has a huge following. But wait until you hear what she's done now. She fondly calls this project the Merc. Take a look for yourself.
You're about to enter the Pioneer Woman's latest project. Take a look at the before photos from her enormously popular blog.
It really looked like something out of a haunted house movie.
And this is the after. Join me one-on-one with Ree Drummond as she gives us a tour of the Merc.
But up here is where all the carb happens.
All the happiness.
I have a special fondness in my heart for the bakery space.
What else for you?
So do customers.
Blueberry scoop. What else for you? Get them right here.
Sales are brisk.
Thank you. What do you recommend?
Hey, listen, anything you eat there's going to be good.
And look at this, a 2.5-hour wait to eat in her restaurant. The crowds who come daily to the Merc double the population of Pawhuska. The Merc is just the latest in a line of successes for the Pioneer Woman. City girl turned country gal.
You know, I started my blog on a whim. It grew to something that I had never planned, and cookbooks came and my TV show, so never could I have pictured any of that happening.
She says she has one goal for the Merc.
We're trying to make it an experience for people who come, so and I think that's why we've had so much fun, because I'm loving it.
Now, Rhea is famous for her recipes. Tonight, she'll tell you about the mystery of the disappearing lemon bars. Join me in the Pioneer Woman tonight at 10 on News Channel 4.
Next in weather.
A springtime setup out there. Fascinating Oklahoma weather going on right now. There is a risk of severe weather for the rest of this evening in the yellow shaded area. Storms are making an effort to form right now down in southern Oklahoma. Here's the metro. Travel down I-35 near Vanasse and also north of Healton in Carter County. These are zipping northeast at about 40. Tracking these with our storm trackers, and your complete forecast is next.
You're watching News Channel 4 at 6 with Linda Cavanaugh, Kevin Ogle, Mike Morgan, and Brian Brinkley. News Channel 4, always there for you. Now, here's Oklahoma's leading meteorologist, the Forewarned Storm Team's Mike Morgan.
A really fascinating Oklahoma weather setup today. Spring in some parts of our state, winter in others, fall in other parts of Oklahoma. Here in Oklahoma City, we had a nice full taste of springtime, and skies are partly cloudy out there tonight. Right now, we're 68 degrees, and the winds from the south at 13. The dew point now is back up to 50 as the dry line has been kind of wavering back and forth across the metro the past several hours. But it did clear out enough to give us that warm, dry weather this afternoon. 76 was our daytime high, only missing tying a record by 2 degrees. Right now we're in the mid 60s and a few upper 50s. Cold front, the effects of the cold front now being felt with the chillier temperatures on the western sides of the metro right now. And the cold front, it is literally knocking on the door here in Oklahoma City, coming in, and look at the temperatures drop off. Mid 50s. Mid to upper 40s, low 40s, upper 30s, rain snow mix in the panhandle west of Guyman right now. The yellow line's the dry line. A risk of thunderstorms, including a severe weather potential near and east of that dry line from right now through about 10 p.m. to midnight. And Quentin says, hey, I see these towering cumulus clouds. These are over to the east and southeast sides of the Ahara-Choctaw area just after sunset, and that is what is now developing thunderstorm activity. There's a powerful upper level disturbance across Kansas. The jet stream, which provides the wind energy for these potential storms as they develop, develop is cutting right across Oklahoma right now. It is a classic spring-like severe weather setup, and the ingredients are there for the severe weather potential, and storms are now forming west of Ada. Storms forming west of Ada here, and they're having a difficult time getting up through that very strong jet stream wind current. It takes a strong updraft to punch up through those strong winds aloft, and so these are developing thunderstorms that have not quite gotten established yet, but they're moving fast northeasterly at 40 miles per hour, and if they pulse up, they may produce some hail here before too much longer. See folks over in Seminole County and Pontotoc County, Ada, Bing, Kanawha, Sasaco over toward Holdenville. You folks do stay alert. The severe weather potential is there. Other storms are developing now, western Carter County and eastern Jefferson County in southern Oklahoma. These are also moving rapidly northeast at 40 miles per hour. So that'd be Pauls Valley down through the Ardmore, Davis, Sulphur area. You folks stay alert. Severe weather is possible. Here comes the cold front now pushing through the northwestern sides of Oklahoma City. Deer Creek, Edmond. Look how well defined the front is. The front actually kind of accumulates dust and bugs and things like that. So you can see cold fronts really well here in Oklahoma, especially these ones that have a good push of chillier weather behind them like this one does. So thunderstorms will develop just on the eastern sides of Oklahoma City, and they'll march pretty quickly eastward this evening. Here's the map for 8 o'clock. You see how close it is. Thunderstorms right there on the eastern sides of Oklahoma City down to just east of Norman. By 10 o'clock, they'll be from Ardmore to Ada to McAllister to Okemah, and after 10 p.m., they'll quickly push into eastern Oklahoma, and they will be gone. We'll have gusty northwest winds, chillier weather moves in, and for tomorrow, morning clouds, kind of blustery and raw, and then sunshine will build in by late morning. The rest of the day tomorrow will be sunny, a cooler day, and a pretty windy day also for your Wednesday. So the chance of thunderstorms this evening here, I've got the line right on the eastern sides of Oklahoma City as the thunderstorms develop and then push into eastern Oklahoma. Low to moderate to high chance of showers and thunderstorms. Little rain snow mix in the panhandle. 52 by 10 o'clock tonight and 44 for our low with a driving northwesterly wind. Storms end over in eastern Oklahoma tonight. 39 in Woodward and 32 in Guymon tonight. 44 here in Oklahoma City, much chillier with a gusty northwest wind, and upper 50s after morning clouds move out. Sunshine moves back in, and low 50s to low 60s for daytime highs tomorrow. 59 here in Oklahoma City. So jacket and sweater weather for tomorrow. Here's Thanksgiving, upper 50s to about 70s. Still looks really beautiful with a breezy southerly wind, and by late in the day Thursday, another cold front pushes in. That'll cool us down for Friday late this week. So Kevin and Linda, ups and downs here as we head toward Friday and the weekend. The weather does look nice, but you know, thunderstorm chances I think are going to go way up by later Sunday into Sunday evening. That'll usher in this cooler weather next week, a storm for Tuesday, and the next one about Bedlam Saturday way down the road. So we'll keep very close track of that. Back to you.
Now sports with Brian Brinkley.
The Oklahoma City Thunder had the luxury of a lot of home games early in the season. Now they're facing a good chunk on the road, and it starts tonight with the first of a 3-game road trip at the Los Angeles Lakers at 9:30. The Thunder's offense has been inconsistent, but the head coach says the defense can't afford to be that way.
We got to defend, and we've been a team that we've had some great moments offensively, and we've had some moments where we've had some droughts. That's kind of part of the game. As long as we're generating and getting good shots, we got to live with the result of missing and making, but it can't affect what we're doing on the defensive end of the floor. And I think what's happened is we have not gotten off to great starts defensively, and what's compounded that is when we haven't made shots or generated, points.
See what they do tonight. Oklahoma State's men's basketball team has met every challenge so far this year, and they face a big one tonight as they meet 4th-ranked North Carolina in the semifinals of the Maui Invitational. The Cowboys beat Connecticut last night 98-90 in the first round and looked good doing it. ESPN analyst Jay Billis thinks OSU is about the 3rd or 4th best team in the Big 12, not 7th like in the preseason coaches poll.
I think we have good players who are really good people who are trying to work really hard. I worry about all the predictions and the preseason stuff so little that I didn't even know we were picked 7th. Not something I pay attention to be quite honest. We just try to get better every day.
It'll be fun to watch tonight. When we get back, we'll shift from hoops to football. It's all quiet now, but the big noise of Bedlam is looming. It's next on News Channel 4. Never before have Oklahoma and Oklahoma State been so hot heading into Bedlam. A week from Saturday, Norman OU will bring an 8-game winning streak and OSU a 7-game win streak. The Cowboys coach likes what he's seen from his team's development.
I have a lot of confidence in them right now. I like where they're at. I think they care about each other. You know, their attitude and body language is tremendous. They play the next play. They don't worry about the last play. And, you know, they live by it. They didn't come in here with fear, didn't show any frustration, and they never showed fatigue. And so as long as they continue to do that, they'll have a chance to be successful in every game they play.
As for the Sooners, their veterans have been leading the way, but they've also had plenty of support from some younger guys along the way. And while those players aren't the finished product quite yet, they're getting there.
It's been ongoing. I think we've had obviously more continuity offensively. We haven't had as many pieces to keep moving around, but you know, but I'll say this, but I do believe the younger guys that have gone into these roles and playing more and more have grown and are getting better. And that's a positive, you know, so I still think there's more.
In the latest college football playoff rankings, OU 8, OSU 10.
It's going to be a close one.
Great time of year.
Yeah.
Well, the competition's heating up on The Voice as well.
Who's safe and who's not? Next.